There they had decent crowds. The company I wrestled for, I guess there's things there called holiday camps.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you ever heard of them. They're called Butlins holiday camps. So
Butlins holiday camp.
They're all over the UK.
Should work on that name.
Yeah, and Pontlins is their competition.
Who's naming these things?
I don't know.
Pulling names out of a hat.
The funny thing about these camps is wrestling is one of the things that is entertainment at these. So it's not really wrestling fans that go to them, but there can be like 3,000 or 4,000 at these camps at a time. They all live in these, they call them cottages or shacks, or they stay there for their holiday. And then there's concerts, kids shows, wrestling, other entertainment.
So people go there to learn the trade of wrestling, and then they.
Well, I'll just tell you a funny thing. Also at these camps, there's bars that are open until like 3 or 4 in the morning, and they allow kids in these bars.
All right.
There, it's like, so sometimes you could be like 2 in the morning drunk, and you look over and there's like seriously an 8 or 12-year-old running around, and you're like,
Jack's
am I
the Rocks.
Imagining this?
What's in this?
If you can see over the bar, give you a drink.
You can have a drink.
Then try finding your way back to one of those shacks.
It's like a wrestling camp with like bungalows I'm picturing, and like 12-year-olds drinking Jack on the rocks.
Yeah, it's pretty weird, but those are just some of the shows. So sometimes you'd wrestle at 2 of those camps a day, so you would sometimes wrestle more than once a day.
Okay.
But the drives were long. The drives were sometimes 6 hours in a day.
How big is this camp?
These camps are huge.
Jesus.
Yeah, they're called holiday camps.
I want to just go back to, you said you were a real wrestler. You like real wrestling.
Yeah.
Define that for me.
Like amateur, freestyle, and Greco-Roman wrestler.
Gotcha. Now I understand.
And I went back into Greco-Roman after I was a pro and got the alternate for the London Games back in 2012, actually.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
But I'll tell you the reason back why I didn't like wrestling in England. For one thing, they didn't like, because the shows were so far, they didn't like stopping in these cars to take a piss.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing like being cramped in with a bunch of big guys, not being able to use the washroom. And yeah, often you had to resort to the bottle. And as I said, as far as wrestling goes, I'm very real. You'd never see me do one of these stomp punches. Like, I always make body contact. I do realistic stuff, and if I'm a bad guy, I like people. I don't sign autographs.
Be a bad guy.
Yeah, and what they wanted to do, the promoters, they made additional income by having pictures of like all of us on a sheet, and they wanted all the good guys and the bad guys at the end of every show in the ring signing autographs together, and I just hated it as someone that. I actually cracked.
It's hard to be a heel when you're trying to be a nice guy to people after the show.
Exactly. I ended up. The actual story of his log, but I ended up cracking and leaving there before my time was up with that promotion. Even though I was winning all my matches and being pushed to the top. Because the other thing is the promoter there was a guy named Brian Dixon who's dead now. And I didn't shed a tear over him. He had us living.
I was going to say, you had to do with that.
He stifled my artistic abilities.
And by the way, the town that the house was in that we all lived in was called Birkenhead. Speaking of weird names.
Who's naming this shit?
Yeah.
Birkenhead. I think I watched a porn once that was called that.
It's part of the Merseyside County. So it's just strange the way that they name things there.
A lot of hooligans out that way.
Yeah, but they had us living in this house. And sometimes we wouldn't get back from these shows, and they didn't want to pay for a hotel, so they would drive us back for like 6 in the morning, and then we'd have to leave again sometimes at 1 in the morning. Yeah,
this sounds terrible.
And he made a rule at one point that we couldn't close the curtains because they were antique curtains in this house, and it's like, you're getting us back at 6 in the morning.
And the sun's blaring.
The sun's blaring. It's like, this is bullshit. So I was just
man has strange bugaboos.
Yeah, and
no pit stops, no curtains.
There was a girl at the gym there. I was only like 24 at this time. There was a girl that was around 19, and I had a good connection with her. And the guy that owned the gym was like a connected guy, like I don't know what exactly he was connected with, but
he was connected to
a guy you don't
something.
mess with.
he had the hookups for everything, and there was some like bad people that worked out in this gym. It was not LA Fitness. It was about as grungy as you can get. And there was an MMA cage in the basement, a boxing ring in the basement of the gym and stuff. But yeah, he always said, don't go out with that girl, like, or you're gonna have problems with me. So I guess there was 1 week all the wrestlers went to Germany, but I was one of the newer ones, so they left me in England, and the uncle or whatever it was away.
So you closed the curtains.
Well, yeah. So I ended up going out with her because she was
went out with the
gorgeous.
girl you weren't supposed to go out with.
Yeah, she was actually. Yeah,
I'm listening.
Yeah.
If he's trying to be a bad guy, he's gonna be a bad guy. You know?
Yeah, I gotcha. Full character.
I'll show you heel.
The funniest part about it, though, that it was a crazy night. It started off. She's like, before we go to the bar, I have to go to a birthday party with some of my friends. So I go to this birthday party with her, and I didn't have a car, right? So she was driving me there, and it's literally a six. She was 19. It was like a 16-year-old turning 17 at their parents' house.
Here you come walking in.
And I come walking in, and I'm just like, "What the hell have I got
I'm a
myself
Canadian
into?"
villain. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, and then she wanted me to bring some of these 17-year-olds into the bar.
Man, you're just digging yourself
She's like,
deeper.
can you body
Yeah.
slam my friend's boyfriend, please?
Yeah, because I guess I looked intimidating,
Yeah.
and she thought if I like walked in with them and looked mean,
They wouldn't ID.
yeah,
Plus
and they
her
didn't, and it worked.
Plus her uncle said no.
It worked.
But then,
Did he find out? Did the bad man find out?
well, here's what happened. Like he really would have
Yeah,
something bad would have
There would have
happened.
been the problem. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
it.
I don't know how I was planning for the night to end, but bars are open there until like 4 or 5 in the morning. We were bar hopping all night. We're in Liverpool. Merseyside is in close to Liverpool, so it's a real good scene. We went to some of the places. I was making out with this girl throughout the course of the night. I even got into a fight over her earlier in the night. Some guy
fast.
grabbing her ass. And I remember there's another fight in this huge bar, and because I was also a bouncer at the time, I helped the bouncers. So it was just a wild night. But at some point, I guess maybe, I don't know how I lost her for a few minutes, but she ended up like making out with some other guy, and I go to her friends. I'm like, what the hell is this? I get you guys
don't
in.
bring her
I
up.
put all this work into it.
Yeah. So you know what I did? I got in a cab, and I said, "Take me home, get my stuff, and take me to the fucking airport. I'm leaving this shitty country."
So you bounced.
Yeah, I just
Solid
took all my
choice.
stuff,
Solid decision there.
and I'm just I'm not gonna.
Your picture's been on that uncle's wall to the day he died.
Yeah.
It's on his dark
I'll get him.
Because it's like I don't have the girl now. After she saw I saw, she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'll still drive you home." But it's like
That actually happened to me once. I went out
Yeah.
with a girl, and she met someone at the party, and I was like, now what? And I'm just sitting outside like, I don't know what to do with myself.
I think between the curtains, and everything, and then there was a lot of girls that liked wrestlers. Or I have to admit, I was having a lot of sex. There was another one leading
Right
up to
on.
this that I was banging, and she was telling me that she's on birth control, and then
She lied to you, bro.
then she told me when she got her period. Oh, by the way, I got my period, and I just want to tell you, I was
I'm a fibber.
yeah, that I wasn't actually on birth control.
I was really nervous.
So it was like a lot of things.
Oh,
Like
God.
so then I finally said, listen, get me on the first plane to Puerto Rico, and I went back to Puerto Rico.
Can you imagine
Wow.
escaping wherever you are to go to a safer place, and the safer place is Puerto Rico? I feel much safer here. Thank God I'm back in Puerto Rico.
The funny thing is, this is before like text messaging was huge, and like I don't even know if the iPhone was invented. This was like
Early 2000s.
yeah,
When did that fuck about 2006?
8.
2008?
2008. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got 11 iPhone.
Well, no, this happened in 2008, so there wasn't camera phones. I guess texting was around, but texting between countries
they
and stuff.
had camera phones in 2005. I had one in high school.
Yeah, but it was
Oh, yeah.
bullshit.
It was
though.
the Nokia. Yeah, it was like this big, and it has like a round buttons. It was terrible.
Pixelated.
It was terrible.
Well, yeah, like your average person
Didn't have it. Yeah.
didn't have it.
I
And
can't believe you left the country.
So no, yeah, and
That's
I
great.
didn't see a lot of these wrestlers I was wrestling with. Because again, this was also before you could get internet on your phone everywhere, so you
Yeah.
just wouldn't connect. So they're like, "We got back from Germany,
You're
and we're
gone.
like, where the hell are you?"
You didn't leave a note. Nothing.
No,
I would have closed every blind in the
That's
house.
a total
Yeah.
heel move, though.